Hello, beautiful people. Hope everybody's doing well. So today, I wanna, I just wanna chop it up. You know what I'm saying? I really ain't got no solid topic. I just know I wanna put some shit out there to you guys and let you know where I've been, um, where I come from, spiritually, mentally, um, and how much I wanna help other people. So, so I've been trying to get this podcast thing going as if you know those of you who've been following me or if you know me in real life, I've been talking about this for like a year, right? Um, but life, you know what I'm saying? A good friend of mine, Shawnee at Ravishing Brown, uh, she spoke about this life shit. It's crazy. Um, but it don't have to be complicated. And I think that the journey that I've been on uh, this past year or so has shown me that it don't got to be complicated. You know what I'm saying? We can simplify this thing a lot more than what we think we can. So um, I'll say first thing you can do for yourselves is just be kind to yourself. Understand that everything that you're going through, um, everything that you experience, is all for a reason. Even the bad moments. I'm gonna raise this up a little bit. I think you can. I can't see it. Even the bad moments, you dig. So just be kind. Understand that everything serves a purpose in life. The only thing is we don't have the tools to reflect on these experiences to understand how we're supposed to learn from them and grow from them. So that's one thing I've had the honor to understand. If I can walk you back through my spiritual journey, it ain't been easy, and that's real shit. Like it ain't been easy. Like when I first retired from the Air Force back in January 2000, uh, the last couple of years of that experience, that Air Force experience was 20 years of my life, right? Um, they weren't the happiest. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot going on in the world. I felt like the container in which that I had to operate in was not resonating with me. It wasn't aligning with my spirit, and that just comes along with being a black man from America, right? You're serving in the military. You're starting to understand the ills of the nation. You're starting to see the people that you work with in a different light, and along comes the Trump era, and things just really just spiraled out of control when it came to um, that country, and then working in the directly for the government, doing the the will of the government, and I was way too woke, so to speak. And I know a lot of my friends be like, yeah, you can be too woke and da da da, but there's a point, right? There's a point where you need to be too woke because at that point you start to ask questions and examine your reality, and that's exactly what I did toward the end of my career. The only problem was I didn't have the tools, to either put what I was learning out in a positive, insightful, enlightening way. It was more like everybody fucking stupid, right? All y'all need to wake up. That's the journey. That's a part of the beginnings of your awakening, right? You want everybody to also wake up. I understand where I went wrong in that, and I understand that everybody's on their own journey. But nonetheless, during that time, I struggled. I still had a couple of years to go. I'm still dealing with people who come to work, uh, not understanding the plight of the African American or the Black American individual as it pertains to the United States, and you know, they carried it that way, right? So again, that was years ago. Uh, that I'm speaking of. But so I retired in 2000, in January of 2000, 20 years to the day, with medical issues, autoimmune issues, that the silent diseases that don't get discussed. That I would love to talk about with you guys on another day. But so doing all these things, ending my career, starting a new journey in real estate. We still had a food truck going, so it was a lot to kind of balance and figure out what direction we were going in, and all the while knowing that America didn't sit well in my spirit. So I'm kind of going with the flow, and then here comes Ahmaud Arbery getting killed. And here comes George Floyd. Here comes Breonna Taylor. Here comes all these different things that just brought so much angst to that place that I needed to escape. I didn't feel safe. I started buying guns taking my daughters to the range, taking my wife to the range, teaching them how to shoot, and I'm like, whew. So this is freedom. This is what I worked so hard for all those years, and all those sacrifices that I made in order to be just another nigga, just another black person who can get gunned down by a societally conditioned neighbor, a white neighbor who bought into the idea that, you know, better than, less than, or fear-based society type of approach to life, and I can be gunned down, my kids can be gunned down, my wife can be gunned down, in supposedly the freest nation on the planet. Now, I'm not going to go down that road right now about how it's not, but hopefully, just by me saying that, you may start asking some questions, right? So, boom. It was just all too much. We were like, hey, we need to get out of here. Let's try something new. With the idea that we're scoping out places to live, but we're also trying to vacation and escape, right? But I was already in my awakening process, but it was the dark phase of it, right? And if you've been through that journey, you understand. So we come down to Mexico, Tulum, and spend some time there, and I see the energy of spirituality there, but I also see a different energy that didn't really sit well with my spirit. But along the way, long story short, I ended up meeting some beautiful spirits who were on healing journeys or on spiritual awakening journeys, and they opened my eyes up to, you know, different ways to approach this existence, and knowing that there are tools out there, different modalities out there. At the time, it was just journaling, manifesting, meditation, and things like that. You know, breathing techniques that I gravitated towards. But after my time in Mexico, going back to America, it was still such a tumultuous time, just within my relationship, within the community, within the country at large, and still questioning everything else about it. You know, the education system, the government, all of it, right? So I kind of lost my way, but I knew I wanted more. And so once we kind of collected our thoughts again, it was like, okay, this is too much. We got to go, because I'm losing my mind. I'm not finding the joy that I thought I would find after serving all those years and all this, you know. So I was like, why not, right? So we ended up moving to Playa del Carmen, Mexico. Boom, here we are. Again, still not full on, like embracing the new way of life and the new journey, and appreciating all of the beauty that we're surrounded with. So some of the things still leak. You can take yourself out of the shit, but you still got the shit smell on you, kind of thing, right? So, anyways, life happens, and then all of a sudden you kind of start taking it into your own hands, and like, I need to heal me before I can do anything else for anyone else, right? And so that's something that my partner and I both realized, that heal yourself, and then you can be better within your union, be better for your kids, be better for your family, be better for the community, be better for the world, type thing, right? So with that being said, this whole Ratchet Buddha idea came about during the darkest phase. I knew there was something in me that said, you know what, bro, I want everyone to heal, right? I want everyone to take this journey and be better. I also don't want anyone, especially people from the black community, to diminish the blackness in the process. So don't lose yourself, because we are the magic of the planet. I think we are the glue, the juice, the energy that kind of holds the humanity together across this planet. And I can talk about that all day long, but that's not the point of this video. The video that I'm trying to get is the full spectrum of why I came up with this idea to do this Ratchet Buddha podcast. So fast forward, the self-healing journey, started doing natural healing modalities, plant medicines, animal medicines. When you hear me speak about bufo or combo, or I'm sure many of you already heard of ayahuasca, and you definitely heard of yoga, you definitely heard of meditation, I'm sure, and there's breathing techniques you can use, Wim Hof, for example, and a multitude of others, even Tantra that I'm starting to learn more about as well. All those things help you heal your soul and be your best self and go inward and start doing the work. Understanding how you've been affected by society, how you've been affected by your upbringing, your childhood, healing your inner child. All those things are all the work that we need to do. You know what I mean? And no one's all the way there, but the idea is to let that journey be the reward in life. Always be striving to be better. Always strive to help others. Always be kind, um, and have fun. You know, and I think that's the stresses of life, the stresses of society. They frustrate the hell out of people, right? This is why it's hard to love someone who you've been told not to love. This is why it's easy to hate someone. This is why it's such a confusing space to be in when all you want to do is just be at peace. And I think people, all people, we just want to be at peace, right? We don't really want to be fighting these wars. We don't really want to be fighting each other inwardly. We don't want to be fighting ourselves, right? We want our kids to be happy. We want our partners to be happy. We want our parents. We want everyone to be in a healed space so we can not judge, not project, not play victim so much, and just be honest all the time. Because once you understand that people are just people, we all are dealing the best we can, given the tools that we've had given to us up to this point, given our lived experience up to that point when decisions were made, you can forgive, right? So it's like I used to blame my parents or have a whole lot of frustration and like anger towards them because of how my childhood was, right? And not saying I'm wrong in that, but I can't hold that, right? So the idea in this healing journey is to identify those traumas, you know, whether it be your big brother beat you up or someone did something sexually abusive to you and all those things. Not saying that they're right? But in order to grow beyond those and not let those things control you anymore, you have to understand that whomever done those things were another human being who were dealing with shit that was put into them, given their path in life. Again, not saying that what happened was right, but if you hold on to it, it will control the rest of your life. And you will react and pass those traumas on to the next person that you influence. And mostly that's our offspring, our kids. And that's how we form who we are by our childhood. And that's why our inner child healing is so important. And now, all these things I didn't know, not even up till last year. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm learning these things day by day. But I when you have the tools, you build that toolkit, there ain't nothing you can't face in life. And I truly believe that. And that's where you understand that it's just about love, right? So going back to people who may have played a part in the trauma that you endured, if you could just find a space to forgive, you can release that. Release yourself from that, release them from that, because they realize that they probably did wrong at some point to other people, and they just caught up in that phase and blaming themselves over and over and over again. And this is why people are depressed. This is why people are anxious. This is why people hurt themselves, you know, because they can't forgive themselves because other people haven't released them in order for them to release themselves, if you dig what I'm saying. So real quick transition. This really, it may serve as a first actual podcast video. I'm not gonna hold you on that. Like I've been dragging my feet. You know what I'm saying? Trying to wait for the right moment, and everything around me, all the people around me, all the good energy, good spirits around me say, bro, just do it. If you got something to say, just go out there and say it, right? And I've been like, I need the perfect moment. I want to make sure I have the perfect lighting. I want to make sure it's all, you know, this production that I think I want it to be. But again, I'm just gonna keep it funky. I think this is the rawest and most authentic way to put it out there. I mean, it's the first one. Hopefully, in years from now, we can look back and say, "Hey, bro, you remember your first one? Shit was kind of weak, but hey, it is what it's gonna be." You know what I'm saying? So, I have a lot to share with y'all. I mean, I'm not the oldest. I'm not the youngest. I'm not the most experienced, and I'm definitely not the least experienced. I'm right there with you. We can all learn from each other. So I think open up a safe space, a safe container, where we can just just be authentic, chop it up about whatever. I love questions. And so when I get the formatting down, I'm building a website right now. Um, I won't tell you the name of it because it's published, but it's not ready. So I want to just drive traffic there, and everybody's like, oh, this shit's kind of whack. And you know, in that regard, I want to wait till I have that ready to go because big things are going to happen there. A lot of good community and a lot of good connections being made and good info being put out there. So I will share it with you real soon. I promise you that, because the phase of resting in my laurels and waiting for things to be perfect and the timing to be right, those days are over. It's time to get to it. So just stay tuned on that. So another thing real quick I want to talk about is the foundation, right? It's the Ratchet Buddha Foundation, or the Ratchet Buddha Foundation. And that's because we know that a lot of people are lost. There's a nation of people that are lost. And I want to be a clear delineation that when I talk about nation, I'm not talking about states, nation states, bordered states. I'm not talking about Mexico. I'm not talking about the United States. I'm not talking about Africa as a continent or all the countries within. I'm not talking about anything like that. I'm talking about people. We are our own nation. We are humanity. And a lot of us are lost because we don't know that we're lost. You know what I mean? We've been just getting through life in survival mode for so long, and we know that we're anxious. We know that we're depressed. We know that we're frustrated. We just don't know how to fix it. We don't know that there are tools out there to reconnect you with your inner self, your ancestors, and also help you heal your lineage. And so with the foundation is something that we put together, my wife and I, to help other people connect with different medicine modalities, whether it be someone out here who does Reiki healing, and we know people who do that. We know people who do Bufo Alvarez 5-MeO-DMT ceremonies. We know people who do ayahuasca ceremonies. We know breathwork healers. We know tantra healers. So all these different tools are at our disposal, and what we decided to do is hopefully sponsor 2 people a month who like to, whatever modality connects with your spirit, we like to help sponsor that, because we know that healing the people heal the world, and if we have to do it one at a time, then that's what we're going to do. So just look out for that as well. We'll be putting out more information on how to connect with the foundation, give you more information about the different healing modalities, the different medicines, and also the different tools to just look at life just a little bit differently. Change your lens to a more worldly lens. As you come from working inward and you look outward, you'll see that we're all just people trying to get this shit right. So the key is love. That's one thing I do know. And with that being said, I love you guys. Thanks for taking the time to listen to this video. I know it's long, but we're going to consider it the first episode of the Ratchet Buddha podcast. It's the intro. It's the beginning stages, and I love you all for taking the time for doing that. And hopefully, as we grow, you'll grow. When we all grow, the world, obviously, will be better for it. So, again, stay solid. One is glad to be of service. Y'all have a great, blessed day.